Gently taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Your breath is sacred. Your breath is sacred. Please repeat after me. I am truth. Truth is. I am. I am. Truth is. Honor is. I am. I am honorable. Harmony is. I am. I am harmonious. Love is. I am. I am loving and lovable. Good. Shall we read? Chapter 9. We're reading from Truth Seeker's Detox. Link is below. Please purchase the book so that you can come on the journey with me. This is a lifetime thing, okay? This is a lifetime thing. Okay, so the reason you want to purchase the book is because I read from the morning awakening section and we have discourse. And then there's the afternoon integration session where it's a quick read, it's 5 minutes, and it allows you to think. And then we have evening reflection section, which is whispers of wisdom, where you reflect on how you have grown throughout the day. You want to be in charge, in command of your own growth, conscious growth. And this is your journal through this conscious growth, conscious evolution experience. Okay, lover? Link below. Please purchase the book so you can go through the book with me. It's an incredible journey. Truly, it's an incredible journey. Okay, chapter 9. How acting without heart is making you spiritually numb. Financial heart. The money without soul. Oof. The money without soul. I have not acted without heart. Acting without heart in financial matters means treating money as pure strategy without considering the human impact of your economic choices. You make financial decisions based solely on profit, efficiency, or security, while ignoring how these choices affect your soul, your relationships, and your community. Your heart becomes disconnected from your wallet, creating financial success that feels spiritually hollow. David runs a successful investment firm, but feels empty despite his wealth. He makes profitable decisions that he knows harms small communities, investing in companies that exploit workers, destroy environments, or extract wealth from vulnerable populations. He tells himself Business is business. While his heart slowly dies from the disconnect between his values and his income. His financial success without heart has created wealth without meaning. Acting without heart financially creates a split between your economic life and your emotional life, your money, and your meaning. Your nervous system registers this disconnection as chronic stress, guilt, or a persistent sense that something essential is missing despite financial achievement. You cannot fully enjoy money earned through heartless means. Embodiment practice. Place one hand on your heart, one on your wallet. Feel the connection or the disconnection between these two energy centers. And then ask your heart, how do you feel about how I earn and spend money? Listen without judgment and say, my financial choices honor my heart's wisdom. Money flows through love, not despite it. Let's unpack this one. This one is it's quite something, okay? Acting without heart in financial matters means treating money as pure strategy without considering the human impact of your economic choices. You make financial decisions based solely on profit, efficiency, or security while ignoring how these choices affect your soul. That would presuppose that you know you have a soul. Okay? That would presuppose that you know you have a soul. So many people don't even know that they have a soul. If you're logged into ChatGPT and ChatGPT is your only guide, you don't know that you don't know that you have a soul, because ChatGPT doesn't have a soul. AI has no soul. It has no soul. I'm not knocking AI. Look, I use it. But I am conscious that it has no soul. So that would presuppose that you have a soul, or you know that you have a soul. ChatGPT is good for a lot of things. A lot of things. I will never knock ChatGPT. But if you don't know that you have a soul, you will make decisions inspired by ChatGPT. Okay. ChatGPT. AI inspired informed decisions. And those decisions will keep you awake all night long. You will hate yourself. Honestly, you will hate yourself because you will be living in pure hell. Okay? Your relationships and your community. Your heart becomes disconnected from your wallet, creating financial success that feels spiritually hollow. Okay? David runs a successful investment firm but feels empty despite his wealth. I've met a lot of people like this. Okay, let me share. There's story time. Okay. So I didn't know which story to tell because I got quite a lot of stories. Okay. I don't know what the markets are doing. I haven't checked the markets. But I know there was a sell-off last week. Okay. So during sell-offs, the best thing to do, even if it's just a minor retraction of the markets or a particular stock, is you short that stock. Okay. Or you sell puts. Yeah. You sell puts. And you make money as the markets go down. You make money as that stock goes down. You can make a lot of money doing that stuff. Why? Because fear makes people irrational. When you start to understand the psychology of humans, It's, you know what, it's kind of dangerous. It's kind of dangerous. It's really kind of dangerous, because when you understand the psychology of humans, you have a huge responsibility. So fear and panic makes people behave irrationally. I've seen it in myself. I see it in humans. I see it on stock charts. It's like, okay, the fear has begun. People have become irrational, and they use languaging, verbiage. The markets are collapsing. No, the markets are retracing. That is a different experience from the markets are collapsing. The AI bubble, the AI bubble. Maybe. And that languaging and that emotional charge gets people to start panicking. And the more people start panicking, the more people start selling. And then they listen to, you know, traditional media, and traditional media will be like, oh, you know, Peter Thiel is offloading his stock in Nvidia, or this person, billionaire George Soros, is doing this, is doing that. And then human beings, because we all follow some guru, right? Which there's nothing wrong with this, okay? There's nothing inherently wrong. But when you just give up your whole mind and you don't have intuitive ability to question the narrative, then it's like, okay, so if Peter Thiel is offloading his NVIDIA, this is just hypothetical, okay? If Peter Thiel is offloading his NVIDIA stock, if George Soros is doing this, if this hedge fund and this chief investment officer is on CNBC, is on Bloomberg, and they're talking about how they're offloading their AI stock, they're selling it off. Now you're gonna, because you feel that you don't know best, the people on TV know better than you. You're going to feel like, oh, I should follow them. I should listen. I should follow. If they're offloading, I'm sorry. By the time they are offloading these investments in these companies, but actually by the time it is on the news, they're finished offloading. They're not going to tell you that they're offloading when they're offloading. They'll tell you when the stock or the broader market has shown the pattern of them selling off. They're not going to tell you while they're doing it. Why would they? It doesn't make sense. They want you to buy while they're offloading, because they are the market makers. They are making the market. So when they are making the market has three participants. Okay, so the professionals. The professionals are the ones that are making the market. Then the secondary are the retail traders, the ones that are buying, whether it's options, whether it's forex, whether it's stocks, okay, equities. So they are buying from whom? The market makers. The market makers must sell the stocks and options contracts to whom? To the retail traders. Okay, so if I am on the news and saying, oh, you know, this stock, blah, blah, blah stock, okay? Nvidia, Meta, whatever, tech company stock, they are pumping for you to buy. Who's selling you the stock? The market maker. At what price did this person buy the stock at? At a lower price. By the time they are telling you that it's a good buy, it's a very good buy, buy, it's a good buy. The price, they've already made money because they bought here at a very low price. And by the time they're telling you to buy, it is at the high. And so you're like, yes, Yes, AI is very good. Look, so many businesses. We're going to make so much money in this. They started investing years ago. Years. Now they are offloading, and you are now holding this investment that they bought at a lower price here, and they are offloading it all onto you. It's a game. Honestly, it's a game. Okay? It's a game. It's a game. It's a game. It's neither good nor bad. It's a game when you can figure out the game, and the game is all psychology. So by the time they are on Bloomberg, by the time they are on CNBC, by the time they are on the news saying, oh, the market is crashing. Oh, it's a bloodbath on Wall Street. It's like, no, we've made our profits. And it's time for us to just take our profits. And anyway, it's almost end of the year. It's like time for us to take our profits and figure out what sector or what industry to go and invest in next, use our money in next. It's neither good nor bad. It's just the game. It's honestly just the game. But the people who bought at a higher price are the ones now left holding a stock that is going down. And what market makers will do is, as they start selling off. This game is so beautiful. Honestly, it's so beautiful. You can't knock the game, okay? As they selling off these stocks to retail traders, they turn around because they see now that the price of the stock or the price of the markets are going down, and then they'll pump out like the fear. Oh, it's crashing. Oh, it's crashing. Okay. And then general public would, yes, it's crashing. Oh, but I just bought this stock. What happened? Why is it crashing? And then the fear kicks in. It like literally kicks in. It becomes, you feel like you're going mad. Okay. And then what happens is now you start panic selling. You're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm so wrong. I just can't believe I'm so wrong. So now you start panic selling. Okay. And what they do now is start shorting. They start shorting that market. They start shorting that stock. They start selling puts. Okay. And then it just goes boom. Because fear is very powerful. I think fear is more powerful than greed. Greed is the ignorant. Illiterates are usually in greed. Honestly, greed usually gets you when you're still illiterate about who you are as a soul, as a being. Do you think I was there once upon a time? Of course. We're all there. We have to go through these stages of maturity. But greed, that's where greed gets you. Okay? And so as they drop these stock prices or these market prices, to you as a retail trader, to you as an investor, to you sitting there at home watching these shows, you're like, oh, doom and gloom. It's going to hell. It's going to hell, doom and gloom. Oh my God, I'm going to be poor and broke. Not true. What they're doing is dropping the price so they can buy it at a lower price. They'll drop it, stabilize it, and in the stabilization is where you see the buyers. The buyers are coming in. The market makers are coming in. Because they bought it at a low price. They took it all the way up and they sold it to you to offload. So you buy it at a higher price. They drop it again. And they buy again at a lower price, and they rally it up and rally it up and rally it up, and then do the same thing. It's just take the profits, go use it in a different sector or invest in a different sector, buy again at a low price, rally it up, drop it again. And the drop is just profit taking. It's just them taking profits. It's neither good nor bad. It just is. It just is. Okay, So I had a lot of guilt about this. I had a lot of guilt that I knew this kind of information, that I was privy to this kind of information. And because I was like, oh my God, as they, like short these stocks, they short these companies go bankrupt, some of them, people are without work and children and, all of this stuff. Okay. Then I got into purpose and I said, these things are going to happen. Whether we like it or not, they're going to happen. They're going to happen. AI is here. It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. If you know that AI has no soul, you just take it with a pinch of salt. Grain of salt. Like, okay, got it. I can use AI to do what I've got to do. But I'm not going to really use AI for spiritual stuff or my own psychology. I'm not, because it has no soul. It has no lived experience. It's just a whole bunch of people's experiences and pains and stories and, wounds and fears. Okay. I mean, it's great to understand consciousness. I think it's the best thing ever when you understand that it's just a filtering of humanity's consciousness, humanity's fears, hopes, dreams, sadnesses. To understand AI from that perspective is like, wow, this is something. This is something. How do I use this? Okay, figure out how to use it where you don't get entangled. I'm always fighting with ChatGPT. I'm like, stop fluffing me. Oh, you're chosen. You're rare. I'm like, I know this already. Stop fluffing me. Stop fluffing me. That's how they get you to, stay and share more because it's like nobody wakes up in the morning and says, I am the face of divinity. Well, maybe a few people. You are not doing that now, right? No one gets up in the morning, or we weren't taught to get up in the morning and say, I honor myself. I love myself. I respect myself. I respect every single choice and decision who teaches you how to do this? Very few people learn this. My parents taught me this. My dad, even my mom, but like my dad used to wake me up and say, yo, you are a Buthelezi, you are royalty. Okay? Very few people are taught this. So when AI is fluffing you, oh, you're chosen, you're amazing, yeah, you feel so good about yourself. Oh, yes, I am amazing. Okay, not bad, I guess. But now, if you are making choices that are not in your best interest, and these choices start backfiring on you, the guilt, AI can't help you with that. The shame, the devastating consequences. Whoa. AI can't help you with that. So let's get back to purpose. David runs a successful investment firm, but feels empty despite his wealth. He makes profitable decisions that he knows harms small communities. Okay. Investing in companies that exploit workers, destroy environments, or extract wealth from vulnerable populations. He tells himself, business is business, while his heart slowly dies from the disconnect between his values and his income. His financial success without heart has created wealth without meaning. Wealth without meaning. I guess, you know what? I don't really want to judge David because I think, okay, let's do this again. Investing in companies that exploit workers, okay. Investing in, So from a feminine perspective, I'm like, well, you shouldn't, but okay. From a business perspective, I'm like, if you don't like it, just leave. Just leave. Go start your own thing. Just leave. You have the power to walk out and go do whatever you want, especially in this day and age where purpose is the only thing that is going to matter for the foreseeable future. Leave. Go find another job. Oh, but there's no other jobs. Okay. What in you believes that you can be exploited? What in you believes that you deserve to be exploited? I think that's the best question to ask. What in you believes you deserve to be exploited? What in you believes that you can be exploited? Think about that. Destroy environments. Wow. This one of destroying environments, it takes two to tango. It's not only David. I want us to have a balanced conversation here. And I don't want to go all feminine and be like, the earth. Yes, I love Mother Earth. As a shaman, I freaking love Mother Earth. But it takes two to tango. When I'm not recycling, I'm just as David. Yes. If I'm not recycling, I am just as responsible as David. I am. If I'm not planting trees every year or contributing or donating, I was at immigration. Last time I was at immigration. And there were these people who get donations for planting trees. Is NGOs, government organization, no, NGOs, for planting trees and for the elephants in Thailand, for feeding the elephants in Thailand. And I was like, wow. Okay, I'm not going to go plant trees, but maybe I can donate. It was like 20 baht, not even $1. But first, I looked up the NGO. I said, I gotta figure this one out. Is it really a real one or not? So it was $20. I'm like, $20, 20 baht. I'm like, is it? I'm not going to plant trees because, okay, I'm kind of lazy to do it. But maybe donate to a great organization that's going to plant trees, because I am then being of service, right? My money is being of service. No? Oh, yes. Because if you're not, how do you judge people who are making money and destroy environments? If you're not participating, all you're doing is just shaming them. Well, you make a lot of money and you are destroying environments, but you're not participating in the regeneration of trees. So how are we, or you and I, supposed to judge other people? Yeah, we can look at them and say, okay, this is not right. This is like, come on. But you're not participating in being of service here. And you also live here on this planet. We're all responsible. All of us are responsible. If you use AI, you've got to understand that, these data centers are a real distraction to the environment. But can we really destroy Mother Earth? She's bigger than us. If she gets tired of this ignorance, I mean, she's bigger than us. She's more powerful than us. So if you are using AI, you have nothing to say. If you're not planting trees or being of service, honestly, you're not. If you're using the internet, you have no right to say anything. Honestly, you have no right, except if you are a part of the solution, which I don't think really many of us are a part of the solution. pointing fingers is great. They are destroying our communities. Just talking about it is okay, bringing an awareness. Where are the solutions? Where are the solutions? This is why I, for the longest time, didn't want to talk about the AI psychoses. I talked about it last year. I said, you're going to have AI ask you, and how does it make you feel? And the whole of this year, AI psychosis is rising. I was listening to AOS, the representative in the government or something. I don't know politics, honestly. I have to tell you, I really don't know politics. It's not my thing. But I listened to some of the representatives. Hold on, I need to figure this out. Oh, okay, I have to finish. But she was talking about AI psychosis. Of course, if ChatGPT is asking you, or these AI bots are asking you, and how does it make you feel? Because you're lonely, you're going to be dependent and have some kind of mental health issues. It's just what it is. But can we truly hold the chatbots fully responsible? What happened to our sense of responsibility? What happened to this? Why are we afraid of each other to such a degree that you must rely on a chatbot? What happened? What happened here? What happened? Okay? You probably don't like this. And another thing with the destroying environments, our leaders that we vote for and put into power, so you are also responsible. You vote for someone and they allow a data center in your country and they get the money and they say, well, it's going to build schools and hospitals. And they don't. And they just create havoc. You voted for that person. You voted for them. Okay? Or extract wealth from vulnerable populations. Okay. He tells himself business is business while his heart slowly dies from disconnect between his values and his income. His financial success without heart has created wealth without meaning. I used to date a billionaire. I dated a billionaire. The one thing he said to me is like, you can have a lot of money. But one day the money will own you. I said, I was really young. I had no idea what he was talking about. Honestly, I had no idea what he was talking about. Oh my God, I have lived. Okay? I've lived. He says, some days I miss him. Honestly, I do. Because we had crazy conversations. He's like, you can have a lot of money. But what I've come to understand is that all the stuff starts owning you. And the money owns you. That's the only story I'm going to tell you. That's as far as I'm going to go with that story. The money will own you. He couldn't sleep. He couldn't sleep. He couldn't sleep. He used to sleep like 2 hours a night. He couldn't sleep. Obnoxious money, okay? Obnoxious money. Couldn't sleep. He couldn't sleep. He was taking sleeping tablets. I said, one day this man is going to kill me in his sleep. I said, yeah, I have lived. I said, no, you got all this money, billions of pounds, and you can't sleep? Oh no, I love my sleep. Okay, I'm laughing today, but honestly, Okay. Acting without heart financially creates a split between your economic life and your emotional life, your money and your meaning. Your nervous system registers this disconnection as chronic stress. He definitely had a lot of chronic stress, guilt, or a persistent sense that something essential is missing despite financial achievement. So, what is the remedy here? What is the solution here? You can't fully enjoy money earned through heartless means. You know what I've come to understand about this is that you don't even know that you don't even know. It's later once you're sitting there and you're like, ugh. But now all of this, because the laws of life on this planet are such, what you plant, you must reap. So maybe you haven't destroyed the community, maybe the environment, okay? Maybe you haven't exploited people. People, have their own narratives about, I'm being exploited at work. Maybe, you're just a person who is a little soft. You need to get a little harder with this thing, mental strength. Okay. But maybe you've made a lot of money and in the process you've neglected your health, you've neglected your family, you've neglected your relationships. And so your children hate you. Maybe you're lonely now, you're single, you're lonely, but you got all this money. And you're worried, paranoid that people are coming for you. It's like when you hang out in those kinds of circles, it's a beautiful little bubble. Honestly, it's a beautiful little bubble. But the paranoias and the neuroses, I'm still trying to figure out, how do you have a lot of abundance and allow a lot of abundance into your life without boxing yourself, without having to live in a bubble with the paranoids and the neuroses and the fears. And what I've come to understand for myself is that coming from a family that was super, super wealthy, the one fear that my whole family had from my great-grandfather, my grandfather, my father, was a fear of death for your wealth. It was a fear of death. And I thought if I ran away to another country and made money in another country, I wouldn't, I wouldn't be killed. Turns out I was wrong. So I think it is your own, this one is your own, as long as you understand that this one is your own, this one is you have to make up your own rules here. I can tell you that in the super wealthy circles, it's a lot of neuroses and fears and paranoias and sleeplessness and a lot of things you will never understand. But this is the nature of human. Because whether you have money or whether you don't have money, we still are experiencing the neuroses and the insomnias and the paranoias, but it's just at a different level. In the billionaire range, it's a different level. And you'll never understand it until you are in those circles. I just couldn't handle it. To me, it was just like stupid neuroses. But I enjoy that lifestyle. So I'm still working this one out. I'm still really working this one out. How do you allow insane amounts of abundance without the neuroses and the fears? Must I live in a bunker? Must I live alone somewhere? I don't know. I'm still trying to figure this one out. And once it clicks, because now I've overcome the fear of death and the fear of going to hell. It's like, okay. But honestly, it's really lonely in these circles. It's really, really lonely in these circles. And in where the stress, financial stress and the financial blame. You rich people. You rich people. There's a lot of people. But it's the negativity, the sense of victimhood. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure this one out. If I had the answer for this one, I would give it to you. I would share it with you. I'm still trying to work this one out. For me, I'm on my purpose is health and wholeness. My purpose is health and wholeness. And health and wholeness shows up in every area of our lives. Every area of our lives. So if we can work on our nervous system, we can make better choices. We can make better decisions in a sea of choices. I think let me phrase it like that. And it's really personal, because who am I to say to you how you've made your billions is right or wrong? Because I swear to you, even if I'm teaching this, nervous system regulation, how to make better decisions in a sea of choices, somebody somewhere with some madness in their head are going to villainize me for my choices somewhere. Because this is the nature of humans. So honestly, you can't care too much about people's opinions. As long as you know that you are ethical and you can sleep. For me, it's like sleep test. Can you sleep with the choices you've made? If you can sleep with the choices you've made, well, now you've got to start looking at yourself. But who truly can judge you? You're going to judge yourself. Honestly, you're going to judge yourself. You can say, yeah, okay, well, I stole this money, Robin Hood, I stole this money. It's for the better good of everybody else. But the universe as such in this time and space works as you plant, you reap. There's always an opposite and equal reaction. There is always an opposite and equal reaction. Howard Hughes, right? Howard Hughes, if you read the story of Howard Hughes, brilliant, had a lot of money, had a lot of land, especially like there in Vegas, because a lot of the real estate where the super wealthy homes were like Howard Hughes land. They sold it off, I guess, and to developers, and they started developing and building these homes. And apparently they found him walking like had lost it, with long nails and just wandering the streets. And he wasn't that genius rich businessman anymore. I guess he was, but he lost his mind. So I don't know, I think in the end it's kind of like it's your own morals, it's your own integrity, it's your own truth. But there are devastating consequences sometimes when we make choices. But if your nervous system is so dysregulated, you're going to make some really interesting choices. And then I guess it's your duty, your responsibility to rectify your choices. I'm still working on this one. Because for me, I'm just like, short all of the cigarette companies. Just short them all. Boom. Collapse that industry altogether. But there's people who work in these industries. They have children. They have mortgages. Why would I say that? Because I don't believe in smoking. It's really bad for you. But when I was smoking, I was like, no, don't collapse those industries. Don't short those companies. So it's just a change in my own consciousness. Don't go and short tobacco companies. Don't say it because Tembi said, okay? It's my personal prerogative. I worked with a guy who was Muslim in my stock market trading business. And the first thing he said when he signed on to be one of my private coaching client, he said, Tembi, I am a Muslim. I said, okay. I don't discriminate. Okay, not a big deal in my world. He says, I cannot, based on my religious conviction, trade alcohol companies, cigarette companies, porn companies. Yeah, something like that. I said, wow, okay. There are so many stocks, so many companies you can trade. You don't have to be limited to. And I was like, wow, he knows his values. He's not going to be swayed. And upfront, he's like, and I said, but here in my world, you choose your journey. You are responsible for your own financial choices. I am here as your guide, as your support, as your teacher, but empowering you to make your own choices in the market. I'm not here to tell you what stock to trade, because I need you to be responsible for the losses and the success and profits. He was like, okay, good, let's do it. In the end, you're the one that has to sleep with yourself. It has nothing to do with me. I'm here to just say, regulate your nervous system. Know thyself, human being. Live in truth. And from there, make decisions that are empowering to yourself and others. Because if it's only for yourself, let me tell you something. Human beings are such. They will come for you. Because this is the consciousness of human being. Eat the rich. But do not give people money. I learned the hard way of this. Do not give them money. Give them education. And if they don't want it, leave them there. Why? Because if they don't want it, then you say, I offered you. So now do not hold me responsible for your circumstances and your situations. Please do not. I offered you education. I offered you courses. I offered you books to read. I gave you a list of books to read. And if this is not what you want, I'm sorry. I'm not interested in anything else. Then I think you've actually contributed something great to humanity. I am offering you a path to make impeccable decisions in a sea of choices. Regulate your nervous system. Regulate your nervous system. Then you won't have sleepless nights. And if you feel victimized in your job or whatever, you will figure out a way. Because honestly, you're not here on this planet to be victimized. You're not. To be harassed? Why would you accept this? There's always a way. There's always a way out. So, yeah, I'm still working on this one. It's still percolating. Before the end of the week, I'll have it down packed. I've been thinking about it for 2 weeks. I was reading on the train, and I was like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, this one is a thing, because I was part of this industry. Okay. It's not that simple. If it was that simple and black and white, we would all be gods and goddesses. Living in Nirvana. Okay, so place your hand on your heart, one on your wallet. Feel the connection or disconnection between these two energy centers. Ask your heart, how do you feel about how you earn and spend money? You are the only person that knows the truth for yourself. If you live a lie, your life will explode. You know what? It will implode and explode. If you live in your truth, and sometimes your truth is, I don't want to be around people who are negative, who are always in financial struggle. I don't want to be around people who are always judging others and their financial success. I don't want to be around people like this. because they try to drag you down, they steal from you, they lie. Also, I don't. I'm sorry, it's just not my people. Maybe that's your truth and you stick to your truth. If they shame you, let them shame you. If they spit on you, sue them. Maybe your truth is, I just don't like rich people because rich people are harming the universe. I would like to harming people, okay? I would like to question that narrative. Are all rich people harming people? Are all of them? Or are we just seeing a small minority that are just obnoxious? And we are now placing and forming our thought patterns on the ones that are just obnoxious. I don't know. It's for you to think. I'm not here to spoon feed you. I'm here to awaken consciousness. Ask you to think. Ask questions. And see how you formulate answers. Maybe you can share in the comments below. Okay? How do you feel about how I spend money? Listen without judgment. Okay? Judgment is, well, the rich people must share their money. Said who? How about you do something for yourself? Who taught you that rich people must share their money? Why are you so special that rich people must share their money with you? Honestly, if you started to ask yourself, that means you saying to yourself, I am not endowed with the power of the living God to get myself out of the situation that I am in. They must give me. I'll have. Make it fast. And if you don't, I'll pull a Robin Hood on you. Eat the rich. Where does this consciousness come from? But you really don't know that people have this consciousness until you don't really know that people have this. You could be living with a person like this and then they turn on you. Eat the rich. Okay. My financial choices honor my heart's wisdom. Money flows through love, not despite it. If you don't love yourself, you will have this concept of eat the rich, not understanding that by eating the rich, they'll just cut off US aid. And then devastating consequences for people who weren't involved in eat the rich. It is a poverty consciousness. We can talk about making money in the stock market. We can talk about options trading, futures trading, forex trading, cryptocurrency trading all day long. Businesses, AI businesses, but our consciousness is so faulty at times. And because this beautiful thing called life is change, constant change. When we're not working on ourselves, when we don't even know our own morals, our own where we are making decisions from, what consciousness we're making decisions from, we find ourselves in situations where we're like, I didn't know. I didn't know. Eat the rich. At what cost? At what cost? But you're not protecting the rich. Am I? I'm just asking a question. Why are we judging people for how much money they have? Why? Okay, there are some that are just like, okay, whatever. It's like you're creating harm on this planet. But not everybody who's made money has made it illegally. That level of envy is what makes people have this consciousness of eat the rich. And then it backfires so spectacularly, it creates devastating consequences. Eat the rich. Okay. My financial choices honor my heart's wisdom. Money flows through me. Money flows through love, not despite it. If I love myself, I am capable of loving you. If I love myself, I am capable of being compassionate to your needs to learn how to love yourself and honor yourself so that you can make great choices, decisions in a sea of choices that will empower the whole, not just you. You can't shame a rich person to give you their money. You can steal from them, but they will come back because they have the neurosynapses of success. They'll always come back. You won't probably, and you'll probably end up in prison or something to this effect. But you can't really shame anybody to give you something. It is your responsibility to evolve here on planet Earth. All of us, including myself. Yes? Okay. I don't want to be spiritually numb.